Every night, millions of people do the same thing. They lie down, they close their eyes, and they press play on the exact same sound. Rain on a window, ocean waves, a box fan, brown noise, the same thunderstorm they've heard 1,000 times before. And people ask them, why don't you try something different? Why not switch it up? But here's the real question. Why do some people need total silence while others can't sleep without their specific sound playing on repeat? Is it just a habit, a quirk, or maybe something much deeper about how their brain is wired? Stick with me because what you discover might explain why you can't sleep without that one specific sound. We live in a world that's never quiet. Traffic outside, neighbors upstairs, the hum of electronics, the chaos of our own thoughts. Silence is supposed to help you sleep, but for some people, silence is the enemy. They need their sound, the same sound, every single night. And before you judge them as creatures of habit, understand this. Playing the same sound to fall asleep isn't about routine. It's psychological. Let me break down the 5 types of sound sleepers and what's actually happening in their mind. Type 1, the chaos blocker. For these people, the world is too loud. Not just physically loud, but mentally loud. Their brain won't stop processing. Every creak in the house becomes someone breaking in. Every distant siren becomes an emergency. Every silence becomes space for anxiety to fill. Their mind races through tomorrow's problems, yesterday's mistakes, the endless loop of what-ifs. And that's where their sound comes in. Psychologists call this auditory masking. The consistent sound creates a wall between them and the chaos. It drowns out the unpredictable noises that would jolt them awake. But more than that, it drowns out the unpredictable thoughts. The sound becomes a barrier, a shield, a way to tell their brain that nothing else matters right now. It's not about the rain or the waves or the fan. It's about what those sounds block out. For them, their sleep sound is the only thing standing between them and a night of lying awake, hyper-aware of every stimulus their anxious mind wants to catastrophize. Type 2, the pattern seeker. These people have trained their brain, maybe without even realizing it. Months or years ago, they played a sound to help them sleep, and it worked, so they did it again and again, and now their brain has created an association so strong that the sound has become the trigger. Psychologists call this classical conditioning, the same principle that made Pavlov's dogs salivate at a bell. Their brain hears the sound and immediately begins the shutdown sequence. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, melatonin rises. The sound isn't just helping them sleep, it is the sleep signal. Without it, their brain doesn't know it's time to rest. It's like trying to start a car without turning the key. Everything is ready, but the ignition never happens. And here's the thing, they don't need the sound because it's relaxing. They need it because their brain has been programmed to expect it. The content of the sound barely matters anymore. It could be rain, it could be static, it could be a specific podcast episode they've heard 200 times. What matters is the consistency, the ritual, the Pavlovian trigger that tells their nervous system, this is when we sleep. Type 3, the womb chaser. For this type, it goes deeper than habit or anxiety. It goes back to the beginning. Before birth, before consciousness, there was sound. The whooshing of blood, the rhythm of a heartbeat, the muffled hum of the world outside. The womb was never silent. And some people, on a level they can't quite articulate, are trying to get back to that feeling. Psychologists call this regression to safety. The brain remembers, not consciously but instinctively, that constant ambient sound meant protection, warmth, security. White noise, brown noise, the low rumble of a fan. These aren't just sounds. They're echoes of the safest place they ever existed. This is why babies sleep better with white noise. And this is why some adults never outgrow the need for it. Every night, when they press play on their sound, they're not just falling asleep. They're returning to a primal state of safety, a place where nothing was required of them, where everything was taken care of, where the world was just a distant hum beyond the boundary of their safe, enclosed space. For them, silence feels exposed, vulnerable, wrong. Their sound is how they recreate the conditions of perfect safety. Type 4, the sensory regulator. These people aren't anxious, they're not conditioned, they're just wired differently. Their brain processes sensory input at a different intensity than most people. Silence isn't peaceful for them, it's overwhelming. In true silence, they become hyper-aware of their own body, the sound of their heartbeat, the ringing in their ears, the feeling of the sheets, the temperature of the air. Their nervous system can't settle because it's processing everything at maximum volume. But when they play their sound, something shifts. Psychologists link this to sensory modulation. The consistent auditory input gives their brain something to focus on, something predictable, something that doesn't demand analysis or response. It's like giving an overactive processor a simple task to run, so it stops trying to analyze everything else. The sound doesn't put them to sleep. It regulates their nervous system enough that sleep becomes possible. For them, their sleep sound isn't a preference, it's a tool. It's the difference between a brain that won't stop scanning for input and a brain that can finally settle into rest. Type 5, the memory keeper. For this type, the sound isn't about blocking or conditioning or regulation. It's about connection. Maybe their grandmother had a fan running every summer. Maybe they fell asleep to rain sounds during the happiest period of their life. Maybe the ocean waves remind them of a vacation where everything felt right. The sound has become a bookmark in their personal history. Psychologists call this auditory nostalgia. Every night when they play their sound, they're not just preparing for sleep, they're visiting a version of themselves that felt safe, loved, or content. The sound is a time machine, and even though the memory might be decades old, the feeling is immediate. This is why they can't switch sounds easily. It's not about the acoustics or the frequency, it's about the emotional imprint. Trying a different sound would be like trying to replace a photograph of someone they love. Sure, another picture might look nice, but it wouldn't be the same. For them, their sleep sound is sacred. It's a nightly ritual of remembering who they were and where they felt most at home, and letting go of it would feel like letting go of that connection. So here's what all 5 types have in common. They're not being difficult or stuck in a rut. They're listening to what their brain needs. The chaos blocker is protecting their mental peace. The pattern seeker is honoring their body's learnt rhythm. The womb chaser is answering a primal need for safety. The sensory regulator is managing their nervous system. The memory keeper is maintaining their emotional connection. None of them are wrong, they're all just wired differently. And in a world that tells you to optimize everything, change constantly, try the newest sleep hack, they've learned something important. Sometimes the best solution isn't new, it's the one that already works. But here's the real question. Does constantly seeking the perfect new sleep routine make you more adaptable? Or does knowing exactly what your brain needs make you more self-aware? Maybe the people who fall asleep to the same sound every night aren't stuck in their ways. Maybe they've just figured out what actually brings them rest. So, which one are you? The chaos blocker, the pattern seeker, the womb chaser, the sensory regulator, or the memory keeper? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.